The Milwaukee Bucks had a sneaky good offseason, and I feel like not a lot of people are talking about it. The Bucks had no flexibility and only veteran minimum contracts to offer, and they were still able to land Taurean Prince, Delon Wright, and Trent Jr. The Bucks possess the top four of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, Brook Lopez, and Chris Middleton, but they lacked the right role players to properly blend the skills of their core four together. With the limited resources that they had, the Bucks did a very good job of filling the gaps as they now hope to contend for a championship this season. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Milwaukee Bucks offseason and how they stack up in the East after the moves they've made. If y'all can do me a solid favor, please hit a like on the video, it helps it a ton. And also, please subscribe to the channel for more Bucks and NBA content just like this. So first, the Bucks were able to get younger. Their solid 2024 NBA offseason started at the 2024 NBA draft, where the Bucks added AJ Johnson and Tyler Smith with the 23rd and 33rd overall picks, respectively. The two rookies are still raw, so their chances of contributing right out of the gate are slim. However, both of them will still be 19 years old at the start of the season, so they're going to bring some much-needed youth to this Bucks team. Then the Bucks were able to make the most out of their very limited flexibility. The Bucks signed 3 players to veteran minimum contracts. The Bucks first brought in Delon Wright. Delon Wright, he can provide backup minutes at the 1 or play alongside Lillard in the backcourt to help compensate for Damian Lillard's defensive limitations, especially late in games. He can also be an effective part of a defensive game plan against the league's top scoring guards, especially with Antetokounmpo and Brook Lopez on the back line to help protect the rim. And you look at Wright, he may not be as quick and explosive as he was when he first started his career, but he still has the foot speed and athleticism to bother the other guards with his 6'7.5" wingspan. Wright, he did put up 2.6 steals per 36 minutes, which tied for the second highest per 36 steal rate in the NBA last season. And a large majority of those steals came from Wright's ability to read the passing lanes perfectly and wreak havoc off the ball. So Wright is going to do a good job of just bringing much needed defense to this Bucks team. And again, he's going to be able to provide some relief for Damian Lillard. So I really like this pickup of Delon Wright. And again, it was very, very cheap. And speaking of another solid pickup, Taurean Prince. The Bucks, this is exactly what they needed. They lacked a two-way wing who could space the floor on offense and defend the perimeter on defense. And you look at Prince, he is far from being an elite 3-and-D type of player, but he is still as good as you will get at what the Bucks paid for him. Prince, he's able to play both forward spots and provide a good amount of versatility. He stands at 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan. Prince is exactly the type of player that the Bucks have been seeking for a long time now, it seems. Prince is not an elite defender, but he does have the height, the length, and versatility where he could be a valuable piece when it comes to defending for the Milwaukee Bucks. And in addition to his versatility, Prince, he does have a strong three-point shot. He's knocked down 37.6% of his career triples, including 39.6% this past season. So that's really good to see if you're a Bucks fan. And shooting like that will definitely be able to keep him on the floor in crucial moments, and he'll have to be respected from downtown. So that's going to allow for Milwaukee's playmakers to be able to find him for open perimeter looks. And then the Bucks, they got an absolute steal with Trent Jr. Trent Jr.'s camp was reportedly seeking $25 million. The Raptors, they weren't going to bring him back. As the market quieted, Trent Jr., he knew he wasn't going to get the bag that he wanted, so he elected to play for a contender this season and be reunited with Damian Lillard to try to restore that value so he can get a big payday next summer. And the fact that the Bucks got Trent Jr. at $2.6 million for the year is an absolute huge win for them. They're getting Trent Jr. at the most ridiculously cheap price you could get him for. And here's the kicker: Trent Jr. wants to be in Milwaukee. He wants to play alongside Dame. He wants to contribute. He's going to be motivated to play well because he wants that big payday next summer. He chose Milwaukee over other teams that could have offered him more. But Trent Jr., he wants to play in Milwaukee. He's going to start in Milwaukee as the Bucks get their 5th starter. And this is going to be, I think, a really good fit for Trent Jr., who should be motivated to really showcase his value. And you look at Trent Jr., definitely a cheaper replacement to Malik Beasley, and he's still a solid shooter. He's not afraid to let it fly from downtown. He was in the 88th percentile in three-point attempts per 75 possessions, and despite being a below-average defender, he is still good at defensive playmaking. He was in the 77th percentile steal rate, so that's still going to provide a nice boost to a Bucks team that finished 30th in opponent turnover rate last season. And this is per Matt Williams. Gary Trent Jr. is one of 4 players to record at least 500 made three-pointers and 300 steals over the last 3 seasons. The other players, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, and Fred VanVleet. So Trent Jr. didn't work out with my Raptors. Didn't make sense for the Raptors to bring him back, but I think this is going to be a great situation for him. He ranks 20th in three-point attempts over the past 3 seasons, and out of the top 20, he has the 6th highest percentage at 38.2%. His average on catch and shoot is 41.6%. Only Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Buddy Hield, CJ McCollum, and D'Angelo Russell have been more efficient among the highest volume shooters in the league. This is per Raptors Republic. So this is just, again, a big move for Milwaukee. This is a guy in Trent Jr. who's going to give him a nice starter in that backcourt, and he's going to be able to provide that shooting and offense that the Bucks are going to need, especially, you know, when you have Dame and Giannis, who are going to attract so much attention. So the Bucks, I mean, they arguably had the best offseason, because you look at their offseason, guys, in a sentence, it's low risk, high reward. They didn't tie up big money to an aging player that can backfire like the Sixers did with Paul George, or they didn't trade a bunch of their future picks for a player like Bridges. So the Bucks, you look at what they came into this offseason working with, they were able to upgrade their roster at a minimum cost. Their defense is still going to be in question, but this team definitely looks a lot better going into this season than they did last season. And based on the moves they've made, the Bucks, they have done a great job of getting younger and addressing some of the weaknesses that were on the team last year. As you know, you're looking at a rotation of Lillard, Trent Jr., Middleton, Antetokounmpo, Lopez, and then from off the bench, Delon, Wright, AJ Green, Jackson Jr., Taurean Prince, and Bobby Portis. That's a pretty nice top 10 for this Bucks team that is projected right now. So to me, the Bucks are still behind the defending champions, the Boston Celtics, the Knicks, and even the 76ers. But these moves put them in a position where they're able to compete against these juggernauts, and it puts them in the NBA championship conversation. So you look at what the Bucks were able to do, limited resources. They absolutely hit a couple of home runs with some of these signings. And again, to be able to get the guys that they did at the minimum, that is a job well done by this front office. So let me know your thoughts on the Bucks offseason. Bucks fans, are you optimistic about this Bucks team going into the season? Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.